Welcome back to the Barrel Talk Podcast. This is episode 130. Joined with Connor Carson's Nick Gwynn on the call. How we doing?
Tired as hell.
Back with another off-season. Pretty much part one. Already all available on all platforms. Going to be going into part two. But we kind of didn't really touch on it. I guess I was thinking like rewatching it. We didn't really touch on the Chiefs a whole lot.
Yeah. I mean, what is there to touch on?
But there really wasn't too much to touch on because we talked about it in the episode before that about basically what they need to do and everything else like that. But for this episode, we're going to be going over the NFC West and the NFC North, kind of going into the NFC. We're going to start out with Nick, who has the Seahawks and the Vikings. But you can hop right in. I'm interested to see what you have with my team.
Okay, I'm going to do the Seahawks first. The Seahawks, actually, just on that note, just restructured Geno Smith's deal to save themselves about $9 million in cap room. So they're going to be about $8 million under the caps. They got a little bit of money to use. They're losing a lot of defensive players, and we were questioning their defense late in the season because I feel like they had fallen off. And they're losing Leonard Williams and Bobby Wagner and Devin Bush. And Jordan Brooks. Like, their whole linebacking room is going to be gone.
I never had a good linebackers recently.
Yeah. And Leonard Williams, they're like big signing or trade. Maybe they traded for him, but like is also going to be gone. So they're probably going to sign him back. But like, if you're the Seahawks, I feel like you're in a weird spot because you're paying Geno. I mean, I guess you did just convert his money, but you're paying him a good amount of money. And like, you have good enough pieces. Like, you got good running back, you got good wide receivers. You're missing a good tight end, but like, you got Noah Fant.
Noah Fant's serviceable.
He's serviceable. Like, that defense just needs help. They got what's his name? Who was that rookie that they had?
Witherspoon
in the defensive backfield. Yeah, Witherspoon. They have him. They have like an okay defensive backfield. It's just that the D line and linebackers are just.
They got like Witherspoon. Fucking Woolen, and then Quandre Diggs is still there, I think, and Jamal Adams, but I'd probably cut Jamal Adams.
Yes, I was looking at Jamal Adams. It's like, I don't understand the money thing exactly on his. I think after June 1st, if they cut him, the dead cap is like half of what it would be right now. So they would save a little bit more money.
There's no point to keep him. I mean, he's just so fucking injury prone.
Yeah, he just gets hurt like every fucking other week, it feels like. So like, I don't know if you can figure out a way to get rid of him. Hey, you should, because that guy's ass. But they do have the 16th pick. This mock draft I'm looking at
right
has
in the
them
fucking
taking
middle.
Byron Murphy, the second D tackle out of Texas. If you do lose Leonard Williams, I think that's a good idea. But if not, I think you're probably need a linebacker more if there's one around that range. But like, if not, then taking just another defensive piece.
Yeah, their D-line is not good. Their defense just isn't good in general.
It's tough because they have so many holes on the defense to where like you're paying DK, you're paying Lockett, you're paying Geno, like you're paying all these other positions that definitely need to be paid. And it's like you don't really have the money to go out and just overhaul. You need to kind of plug in pieces here and there.
I don't know. Their defense is always so fucking bad. Like they have like Jordan Brooks isn't like terrible. Like Devin Bush isn't like terrible. Like all these people, and then like losing Bobby Wagner is gonna fucking hurt. That one's gonna hurt. And then Leonard Williams. I mean, I don't have like his stats in front of me, but like he's all right. At least he's a decent guy, can rush the quarterback. So it's just very odd that their defense is just so bad.
Yeah, they really just need to get guys that can get pressure because I mean having that defensive backfield is good, but like they can't cover guys forever.
Yeah.
And the league is just the quarterbacks are just getting more and more mobile nowadays. So, so that's pretty much it for the Seahawks. Shit.
Nothing on the offense. Offense stay the same.
I think so. I mean, you got Kenneth Walker, you got your wide receivers. I mean, try to keep the same old line. From what I'm looking at, it doesn't look like they're losing. They're losing some guy named Bill Haynes, but like I don't know who that is. I think he's a guard.
Their offensive line sucks too.
Maybe get another offensive lineman, but I feel like it wasn't a problem most of the season.
I mean, you did have Kenneth Walker get hurt for a couple of weeks, and you were still pretty solid for the most part.
If they wouldn't have gone on like that gauntlet run, like
Yeah.
they would have been fine. Fucking.
So they had Dallas twice.
It was like Eagles, Dallas,
Niners.
and the Niners twice.
Yeah, it was the Niners twice, and then
and then someone else. I know they played another good team.
Yeah, because the Dallas
Probably a Rams game in there somewhere.
Yeah, the Rams.
Because they had Dallas on Thursday night, and DK had that house
We watched
call.
it right here.
Yeah, I remember that. But, I mean, Seahawks and the Rams are kind of going to have, like, the same when I get to the Rams.
Because, like, yeah, but, like, with the Seahawks, I feel like, excuse me, you got to go back in. You got to go all in. Because, like, in the NFC, like, the Packers are able to get in there and get to the second round. So, if you have that offense, you got to work on getting that defense.
You gotta hope that they're a little bit more healthier this year because Geno was injured for most of the year. Like I said, Kenneth Walker was hurt for a good part of the year as well. Like if they were just more healthy through that most of those stretches, I mean they would have probably been in a way better spot. Like you said, the Packers were able to go in and make some noise. The Bucks were able to go in there and make some noise. Like
I think it'd be interesting to see what they do with Lockett. Like depending on if they
Lockett
want
would
to.
be interesting.
Depending on if they want to, because he's gonna be a big cap hit, so he could be someone that like the Chargers got rid of Mike Williams, so like Lockett could be next on the chopping block. Like
his
now
cap
that they
hit's
have
almost $30 million.
They have Najigba kind of rising. I would want to put him in a better role,
and he can be somebody that you can slide into that Lockett role.
and like wide receivers are so expendable. You could like for the person to take like his Najigba spot, like you can put in fucking anybody. You could go sign like someone off the. You go grab like Jawan Jennings. Go get him. He can do it.
Yeah.
See, like I'm seeing a lot of guys that they could just cut, like Will Dissly. You can just cut and save $6
Will
million.
Dissly, like all these people. I don't know. It's just NFL GMs are dumb.
Hey, trim some of your players, man. Trim some of these guys down.
Even just restructuring a bunch of people, like.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the Seahawks. As for the Vikings, shit, man. Vikings, y'all got about 30 million cap space right now.
With three highly paid guys that we have to pick 2 of the 3 to sign. So
yeah. So I'm assuming in this universe, we sign Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Yeah.
To a very large contract.
Yeah, very lucrative deal.
His cap hit down for this year.
Yep.
Because right now it's in about 20. They probably somehow cut it down to like.
How is this gonna work? I'm trying to think because like if you give him like 25 mil, and you like the Vikings like you Jefferson like 25 mil a year, 27 mil a year, like
he's gonna get more than that.
Like there goes all your cap.
So
there it all goes.
So you gotta think if we don't bring back Kirk at all, it's also reports came out that Danielle Hunter is gonna expect like anywhere between like 20 and like 22 to 25 maybe depending on.
We're
the team.
also the favorite team to get him.
Really?
Yeah. So
we're favored to get him.
I mean, if there was any year
for shit if we get DeAndre Hunter.
Danielle Hunter?
Or Danielle Hunter, yeah.
Danielle Hunter's also...
DeAndre Hunter plays basketball.
Danielle Hunter's also, like, coming off of a career year. If there's any time for him to get paid, it's this year. And
how did Marcus Davenport play?
Not well.
Marcus Davenport?
He was hurt most of the year.
My God.
So I
liked him on the Saints.
Yes, you're probably letting him go. He had potential, but he could just never stay on the field.
He's only 27. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's young. He was with the Saints for like a couple years.
He was hurt damn near all year, though.
I mean, hey, maybe if you can, if I don't know, depending on Marcus Davenport's price, maybe you keep him instead of Danielle Hunter and like get another linebacker. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
In this universe, we signed Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
We let Danielle Hunter go.
Okay.
We let Kirk Cousins go.
Oof.
And you guys have what? The
11th pick.
11th pick? Huh. We're picking a quarterback at some point.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a big draft guy. I don't know which guys are like really the best and who's going to be available around that time. But like we're getting one of those quarterbacks. And then you guys are just going to be in a rebuild. Like maybe like you guys can be the Packers potentially of this year.
I think it could be a rebuild / retool.
It's like
year.
it'd be like a retool year. Like the Warriors had that one year where they were just shit.
Yeah,
and then we're back. Like I think that's what the Vikings are gonna end up doing. Like you're just gonna have one year where you're bad, and then you get another good pick, and then.
And it's weird to say because I don't think we there's also like with the talent we do have, like a world where we are just like not like horrific.
Well, it all just depends on how your quarterback plays.
Yeah, so like
that's really about it.
So like,
and you guys don't have a running back. You're probably gonna lose Osborne. So I mean that's not a huge deal.
That's fine because he with Jordan Addison ascending, I wouldn't even.
Your defense is still gonna be Swiss cheese.
Our defense wasn't even bad this year. It was more so based on scheme. But like if we lose Danielle Hunter, who was like our main guy,
your only pass rush,
you just gotta pick up a
Troy Dye ain't gonna get there.
If I was looking at our defense and I was like, what do we exactly need?
Like, you know what you need to do? You need to cut Harrison Smith.
I'll get into that because we can save about 11 to 12 mil there in the cap.
You can save about 12 mil right there.
Jesus.
Yeah. So we can cut him and he can go.
I think that's gonna happen. Actually, I think that's ending.
If we do that, we cut a few more. You gotta cut a few more guys.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see that happening. The one thing I would like to see us get is I would like to see Danielle Hunter back because I do think he wants to stay because he had his best year when we got Flores. So I mean the whole scheme is just tailored fit for him. And I would like to see us add one more corner. That's like a little bit not average, maybe a little bit better than average.
Who are your corners?
We have.
You guys are gonna have like the exact same.
Byron Murphy's not even that bad.
No, he's not. He was just hurt towards the back end of the year.
You have Bynum. Is Bynum a safety or a?
Bynum's
safety.
So, your whole defensive backfield is the same going into next season. Nobody is on expiring.
Yeah, because they're all younger on the younger side.
So
except for Harrison Smith.
Yeah, he's just fucking dude. He's like what 33.
You're losing a few guys on the offensive line. But
I know Dalton Reisner is a free agent.
Yeah,
we'll probably end up wanting to bring him back because he was actually good.
He should come back.
Ali Udo.
I don't know who that is.
The one like thing about like me being on Vikings lore, Ed Ingram has to fucking go.
I don't know who that is.
He's our fucking guard, and he was our top ender draft pick in the first or second round. I can't remember, but he hasn't been fucking shit for us.
This year?
No, last year. Like he's been on the team for years. We drafted him, but he hasn't been like developed into the player that we want.
After 1 year, I was like,
no.
I was like, okay.
But like looking at our team, I mean, we're in a weird spot because there's so many different ways you can go. Kind of like in the Bears in a way. There's so many different avenues you can go down and keep Kirk, not keep him. Like you would think the easy decision is to pay Jefferson, and then it's like you hear this idea of not keeping him, and it's like
bunch of shit.
Like
just a bunch of stuff comes out, and
everybody
thinks they know all these sources and all this stuff, but you'll never really know.
But we can definitely free up some more money for sure, because I do think defensively we were like twice the team we were the year prior when we won 13 fucking games. So looking at that, if our defense and we still have Flores, like we're gonna be bringing back a lot of the same guys from last year. I think we'll be fine for the most part.
Yeah.
It all depends on the quarterback. If the quarterback is fine, our offense is gonna be just as good as it was because we had Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall in there hooping still. So it's really gonna come down to who is the quarterback for the Vikings going into next year, more than anything. So.
I low-key hope you guys re-sign Marcus Davenport too at like a low cost.
We should be able to because he was hurt.
Yeah, he was signed for 13 mil. Like if you can get him close to that or a little lower.
Yeah, because he was that other person to take pressure off of Danielle Hunter, and then we were kind of using Harrison Smith for like a little bit of everything with how our scheme was and how crazy it was. So he was really just a Swiss Army knife. But you can go ahead with your team.
So I have the 49ers and the Packers. These ones aren't going to take too long, considering it's two teams that are basically playoff teams next year, so you don't really have to do too much. I'll start with the 49ers. You should probably extend Ayuk. That would be your number one thing. You kind of need him. I know we talked about it last time. If Debo's going to be running this like Swiss Army knife type deal, he's not going to be as a wideout the whole time. You kind of need a number one receiver. Mm-hmm. So I would probably go extend him. I don't know an exact number of fucking to give him, but go sign him. I mean, you get the luxury of Brock Purdy being on a fucking $500K fucking contract, so you don't have to really worry about it. Yeah, so you don't have to really worry about it. Nobody on the defense is making like a crazy amount of money. It's really on the offense. So basically, I wrote down you got to restructure your big names. So like Trent Williams needs to get restructured, Debo needs to be restructured, and fucking George Kittle needs to be restructured to free up some kind of space. And I would also try to bring back Juwan Jennings, considering he just kind of hooped in the Super Bowl. And you kind of,
Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, you need another receiver like with Debo and fucking Ayuk. I mean, that's really it. If you want to bring back Chase Young, you can. I would bring back Chase Young if you have the money. It would be a fucking two-headed monster on both sides. Trey Greenlaw is probably going to be out for a while. I'd probably go try to get another linebacker. He tore his Achilles. I don't know when he's going to come back from
That's
that.
something you could probably address in the draft.
Yeah, you draft a younger guy if you want. I know Hufanga's still there. I don't know if he's a free agent or not. I don't think he is. The 49ers have always had corner problems. If they want, they could go sign a corner. Someone that's like not asking for a whole lot, but like a veteran or something. Maybe go draft one. But, NFL teams just don't decide to draft for need. Mm-hmm. So, there's nothing really crazy about the 49ers.
Stephon Gilmore 1 year.
Yeah, fuck, it's not even a bad idea. Just go get him for a year. It's not going to be that. He's going to play fine.
Exactly what the Cowboys just did, and he was serviceable for the Cowboys.
Okay. So, again, this 49ers, they just went to the fucking Super Bowl. There's not really much they can do to...
Yeah, that's not much you can do.
Do whatever. I mean, same for the Packers. The Packers, obviously they shocked everybody. The number one thing that I have, they need to cut fucking David Bakhtiari because they have no cap space, and when they cut him, they will have cap space. That's basically what it is. He's 33 years old, making $30 million a year. We can't do that. He can't play a full season. So, and I think that the Packers are starting to get into this new this new school of players, this new era, younger guys. This is the new for the Packers. So getting rid of someone like him makes a whole lot of sense. He doesn't fit their timeline at all anymore. And there's been talks that he wants to go to the Jets and go play with Aaron Rodgers or whatever. Go do that, whatever. They also need to restructure their big names. Kenny Clark, Jair Alexander, and guys on their defense are making a fuck ton of money. And I know that they can restructure them to get a little bit of money back. Other than that, I mean, obviously, you get rid of a left tackle, you probably should go get a left tackle. So I think they should go draft one. I think that would make the most sense. Draft a right or left tackle, doesn't really fucking matter. Damn near the same position. You can transition over. That would help them a lot. Their O-line's already decent. I mean, I don't think they should make any changes on the O-line. They don't really have any crazy free agents. I know A.J. Dillon's a free agent. I would probably bring him back. Make a whole lot of sense.
Just to see eats.
A.J. Dillon, Darnell Savage.
Yeah, I'd bring back Darnell Savage.
That's pretty much it.
A.J. Dillon is a big one, I think, because I think he can be the guy who takes over for Aaron Jones whenever Aaron Jones kind of hits that wall.
Or gets hurt or
something. He was doing good when he got hurt.
He was eating when Aaron Jones got hurt.
So, I don't know. I think they're wide receiver. They're probably cool at wide receiver. I think they're really in on their receiver core. Wicks is kind of becoming a person. Watson was just hurt. Mm-hmm. Dobbs, all these guys. These guys are all stepping up. Musgrave is your tight end of the future. You need to stay with him. Other than that, Jaden Reed as well. Guy. So your corners, I mean, you could maybe go get one more corner. Another team that could do a Stephon Gilmore 1 year, because they have Jair, and Jair's a free agent. So you don't really know if he's going to stay or not, or if they want to bring him back. I think they will end up bringing him back.
You don't want to lose a top 5 corner.
Yeah, there's no point to not bring him back. They also have Eric Stokes, who's he's all right. He's just a younger guy. I think they should bring him back. He was just hurt this season. So, I don't know. Not a whole lot to do with both of these teams, really. It's kind of just retooling and setting up for the next season.
I can get right into Chicago. It's so fun looking at y'all cap space and y'all draft picks. And
we are a fun team.
This could be how do you fuck this up, right? Looking at this.
So in this universe, see you, Justin Fields.
Yep. You're out of here.
Where did he go?
So you're going to the Raiders.
Okay.
I like that.
What did we get back?
You're getting back a third this year.
Okay.
And a fifth next year.
Word.
So I with Justin,
that ain't shit.
He has a weird value though because he hasn't won shit and he has his flaws. Mm-hmm. But the Raiders are a team where they could turn him into something, and I feel like you guys would just take a third this year. Fucking
sure.
Why not add some more draft capital? You already have so much. So for Fields, I mean, I don't think this is a terrible return because I don't see a team walking in your guys' door and give you a
second or first.
Yeah, second or first, a really good second if that. So I think a third is definitely manageable from the Raiders, which wouldn't be too bad. But this universe, you obviously take Caleb Williams.
Yep.
Your 9th pick, I've been seeing a lot of. So I looked at a whole different people scenarios of what they would do. At 9, I'm getting Latu out of UCLA.
That's a tackle?
Yeah, no, it's edge.
Edge, okay.
So you have him and Sweat for your future. Because I feel like you guys could easily go sign.
Is that the UCLA guy?
Yeah, you could go sign to Neil Hunter-Bottoms. Like, you guys could use that money elsewhere. Especially because you have a draft pick to where you can just pair somebody up with another young guy for the future. And then at your other picks, you could probably look up to pick up another, help the O-line. O-line always needs help year in, year out. And then look at a receiver later down the line. But it's more so your guys' free agent ads that are really interesting.
Well, so we cut Cody Whitehair and Eddie Jackson. So we're down a guard and a starting safety.
So I got you guys obviously bringing back Jalen Johnson.
Yep. Have you tag or are we actually signing?
No, you're signing him long term. Okay. Might as well do it. There is no point to tag him that his value gets even crazier next year. So you might as well sign him long term year. That's about like 15 to 16 mil right there out of your cap. Geno Stone, you guys needed a safety from the Ravens. And then for receiver, to kind of pair somebody up with DJ Moore. Curtis Samuel for like 11 mil, 12 mil.
So we're letting Mooney walk.
Yes, you're letting Mooney
Mooney's
go.
walking.
Because he obviously, I don't think he fits what y'all want to do anyways. And then I have a sleeper pick. I also have you guys getting Sean Bunting from Titans, just another corner.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
So you're picking him up. You guys have so much fucking cap.
Okay.
So, and then sleeper pick, Pollard.
Tony Pollard?
Yes. Because you guys are going to have the money. The Cowboys we've talked about the Cowboys
Is he a
having.
free agent?
It had him on there for free agent, yeah.
He is?
I was surprised to see him on there while I was doing
all
shit too.
last year.
Oh, okay.
So he's a free agent. Kind of had a downer year.
Yeah.
But with the Cowboys having all this cap hell coming up, I don't think Tony Pollard's going to be that high on their priority list, and he can get snagged up by you guys who kind of haven't had like a real feature bag. It's more so backed by committee. But to have Pollard in there, perfect guy in the receiving and run game next to Caleb Williams. You add Curtis Samuel. You bring Jalen Johnson back. You plug in another corner, another safety. You add another edge guy. Your total's out to be like 47 mil in the cap. But restructuring, you guys probably even get more money.
I was going to say, we have like 50 mil around there.
So you guys can even get more money. But top priority, you have to bring back Jalen Johnson.
Yep.
And then with your third that you picked up from the field trade, add really whatever you want. Yeah, so you can really add whatever you want there. But you get another weapon.
That's how we're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Everything
championship game, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I love that.
Because, offensively, you add Curtis Samuel, who can be a number 2. DJ Moore's a star. If Caleb Williams is everything he says he is, and you give him these kind of weapons, and with how your defense is climbing, shouldn't be too much of a problem if he's the player everybody says he is. Obviously, we got to see it first in Chicago. Because, for some reason, shit just be hitting the fan in Chicago.
I don't know, man.
But that's kind of what I had for the Bears and what they need to do. Next team is the Rams. Rams are kind of like the Seahawks in a way. They have really not a whole lot of talent around downfield on that defense, but they have all the talent in the world offensively, especially with Puka and Kyrie Williams. Hitting on those guys, makes the Rams so much fucking better. It's mainly the defense that is kind of Swiss cheese. They don't really have anybody in that secondary that is really posing a threat to you at all, other than Aaron Donald's the only person you even look at. They have a decent amount of cap space, but they need so much. You could use a better tight end. You need another rusher. You need a cornerback. You need a D-line help. You need a safety. Your O-line is still wish-washy. So, looking at them, pickups in the free agency. Levi Wallace from Pitt. This is corner help. Same with Shaquille Griffin. Corner help you need it because they had nobody on their corners. And then I'm picking up Clowney on their D-line. Damian Lewis, who's a guard. Aaron Brewers, who's a center. And then, mainly, this is a sleeper one because you brought him up earlier. If the Vikings do cut Harrison Smith, you need safety help. Minnesota to LA.
Go get him on a 1 year.
Yeah, go get Harrison Smith on a 1 year. He's still good enough to give you one, maybe even 2 solid years left. And even though he's an older vet, he's somebody who has proven to be a difference maker like he was for the Vikings last year. So, mainly, you're just kind of trying to trim up the edges, add some more talent to your defense to try to make another run. Because with how the NFC is, we've talked about the Packers and everything else like that. Who knows? You can
you could do it.
You could find yourself in a championship game with the Stafford and Cup and McVay as your coach and Aaron Donald, and fuck around and make another Super Bowl push. With how up and down the NFC is, all these teams in the NFC top end talent when 10 to fucking 13 games and then get bounced in the first round. Like, we've seen it happen year in and year out with the NFC. But mainly looking at it, Rams, if they trim their roster right, they should easily just be back in the playoffs again next year. It just sucks they're in the division with the Niners, to where they're probably not going to win the division. They're probably going to be in the wild card. And then last team was the Cardinals for me. And then Cardinals are in a very interesting spot because you should probably restructure Kyler, cut DJ Humphries, frees you up $9 million. If they trade Budda Baker before a certain time period, it saves you like $15 million in cap space. You could add up to like $28 million in cap space with all these cuts and restructures and everything like that. But they have the 4th pick. We're obviously going Marvin Harrison Jr. here. There's no point not to take him unless the Patriots for some reason take him with no quarterback to throw in the ball. Whatever they want to do, they should probably trade out of that pick anyways. And then they have another first-round pick. I have them addressing O-line. And then free agency, whatever you want to do with Budda Baker, just to free up cap space, I think it's just the right move to do. And then Hollywood Brown, you're going to bring him back to be your 2 next to Marvin Harrison with Kyler Murray having a ton of fucking weapons. And then in their free agency, with all the money that they're going to have, you sign Hollywood Brown to whatever deal is probably like around $14 to $15 million there. Having getting corner help and Jeff Okudah, that's probably going to be like another $14 million there.
Jeff Okudah.
And then Daquan Jones from Buffalo, you need to tackle, go get him. And then I have him get it. If you have the money, Chase Young, I think you could add a young edge rusher that fits your team's timeline. Could be a great fit in Arizona. But I mean, there's more so. They need to kind of start building a younger team around Kyler because he's your quarterback for the future. You add him with Marvin.
They said that if Marvin's there, like they're taking him. They're trying to make him like Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, and you easily should.
Yeah.
He could easily be your D-Hop replacement that you lost a couple years ago. So you bring him in. You got Hollywood Brown who can easily slide into your 2. You add like Chase Young and Okudah to your defense when your defense isn't the greatest, but you need to build that in future years. But I mean, you have
who's their I can't remember their tight ends.
McBride.
He was going crazy at the end of the season.
McBride.
Yeah.
He's good. McBride's good.
And he was going crazy even when Dobbs was there. And once Kyler came back, he really took off. So, I mean, you can just... I was thinking about adding a tight end to them, but I was like, he was already eating. He'll be fine.
Yep, you don't need it. So,
I mean, it's more so kind of structuring your team to kind of look at Kyler long term and see what you can do with that. I think the Cardinals are in a weird spot because it's going to take a couple years to really get that defense to where you want to get it to. Because you got to think, when you're looking at NFC, you're like, fuck, you're like, Lions offense is crazy, like Packers and Vikings offense is crazy, the Bears offense could be crazy, and then you're looking at like Cowboys and like Niners and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, looking at that offense, I think looking at their defense for the future, they definitely are going to have to take a couple years to kind of build that up. And I think Chase Young can be the cornerstone piece in that defense to really make you dangerous for years to come, because offensively you add Marvin Harrison, Hollywood Brown, and Kyler Murray, and you probably can still have James Conner, and you got McBride who's ascending. Like, you're probably going to be fine. And then you have 2 first-round picks. So, I mean, a lot of shit you can do in Arizona. But we can kind of touch up on the Lions.
The Lions are... Well, they just got rid of Kirby Joseph, I think. I think it was him. It might have someone else. They cut him for some cap space. I mean, other than that...
Gardner Johnson's a free agent.
I think they should bring him back. There's no point to really get rid of him. I mean, unless you want to go draft a safety or something. I know Brian Branch is kind of like ascending. So, I mean, if you want to just move him over and you have another guy to replace him. Depends on really what they want to do. Number one priority, probably re-signing Amon-Ra. Because he's a free agent and he's only 24 years old and he's going to be asking for a fuck ton of money. And you're just going to give it to him. O-line, wouldn't touch it. Would not touch a single thing on your O-line. Whoever's a free agent, sign him. Don't care what you're signing him to. I think Jonah Jackson might be a free agent, but I don't even know. I'm guessing they're going to want to bring him back. I still think Jamison Williams can be a solid number 2. I think he can be a solid number 2 for them. It's just sometimes he gets lost in the shuffle because he's like the only one on the deep fucking go routes. And then Jared Goff isn't like letting it fucking fly every fucking play. So I think that if they can run a lot more plays for him like across the middle of the field, like they'd be fine. But
I mean, you saw him hoop against the Niners.
That's
he had
what I
2
mean.
touchdowns.
I mean, they went and traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones and didn't even fucking use him this season. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they did that. Josh Reynolds is a free agent.
Yeah.
So I doubt they bring him back.
They have the cap. See, I'm hearing a lot of like Mike Evans of the world in terms of because of all the cap space they have. For one, I just don't see Mike Evans coming to Detroit.
I can't see Mike Evans in a different jersey.
So looking at it more so, like I wouldn't even. Cool, you could bring Josh Reynolds back if you want to, but with James Williams, like you can have him ascend, and then like looking at it's more so get your secondary together. You have all this cap space, go get your secondary together.
Well, like, so who do they have? Their corners are they don't really have any names on that corner. I mean, they have Sutton. I think he was from the Steelers. And then you had Gardner Johnson was hurt. Brian Branch is the only guy you have there. Linebackers are fine. Maybe go to get a D lineman. I mean, another D lineman, like an interior guy. Like you have is still on the outside, Hutchinson, and then you can kind of plug in whoever you want on the other side. But if you have a guy on the inside that's consistently getting pressure, whether it's like a fat dude, like a huge 300-pound dude that can kind of stuff the run, or you have someone who can actually get to them, like it doesn't matter. Jack Campbell's going to be your starting linebacker for fucking the next 8 years, barring any injuries. They have that Rodriguez guy. I think he's going to be the other linebacker in there, and they kind of have other pieces they can throw in there if they want. Other than that, your secondary is really the only thing you need to upgrade.
Because they just...
Well, I don't know why they got rid of Okuda in the first place. I know he wasn't playing well, but there was really no point for them to trade him.
The whole team wasn't playing well at that point.
That's what I mean. Like it doesn't...
Just
then he went to the Falcons.
Let him develop, and now he's with the Falcons, and he's stout with the Falcons.
Yeah, he's doing all right. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
It's more so because everybody wants them to like land the big name because they just went on a little run. Mm-hmm. They could easily go back there, but like, go get that defense together because like with these wide receivers in the NFC, like you can get like God forbid you play the Rams again, because if you play the Rams again, you might lose that game because your corners were not doing anything.
Well, the only team that made sense for Mike Evans is the Texans, because that's where he's from. He's from Houston, and the Texans are becoming like a cool market because you can see that like they're kind of getting things going. Mm-hmm. So now free agents will be like, oh, okay, this is like a up and coming team. Like same with Detroit. So, but I can't see Mike Evans wanting to go play with Jared Goff and go into Detroit and try to take that place down.
It's just you have Amon-Ra, you have committee by receiver, basically.
Well, Laporta is basically your number 2 receiver.
So you have Laporta. You have a crazy run game. Like, go add to your defense rather than adding another star receiver. When you don't actually need them, you just need to develop one of them that you already have. So
Jameson Williams can be good.
Yeah, like looking at it, you just need to. You really need to work on your defense because that's the only thing holding you back. But to kind of wrap up this episode, I have some of like the top free agents here.
Yeah, it's Mike Evans.
Off the top of your head, where do you think they will land?
Okay.
Kirk Cousins.
Man. I think he's probably gonna he's gonna sign back with you guys, but I think it's a terrible idea.
Oh, I actually had we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Apparently I took a screenshot of it.
Oh.
Apparently one of like the floaters of contracts are out there. It's 2 years, $70 million, $50 million guaranteed, $35 a year.
That sounds right. That's the thing. That's why I said like a 2 or 3 year deal. I think that's what.
And then I've also heard the world of 3 years fully guaranteed.
That's fucking crazy. I would never. I think you put yourself in so much cap hell if you just sign him to that contract. Like, there's no way like your GMs are just that stupid. Like, God, no. I think he's gonna end up signing with you guys, but I think it's a terrible idea.
We've talked about because I feel like me and you liked it at first, but like you just bring Kirk back. Like, why not? And then it's like then we look at the research.
Like, it's like how far can like you're coming off an Achilles, man. You're fucking. It's just like Aaron Rodgers, like coming off Achilles. You're like fucking 30-something years old, making all this money,
and he's not up to the level.
I get it. You're
Rodgers.
not a. I was like, I get it. You're not a mobile quarterback, but like,
you still need to.
You still gotta
in the
move,
pocket.
like, and I feel like he's gonna have a problem like planting. Planting now is always gonna be scary. So I don't know. I personally would be like, hey Kirk, it's been hell of a ride. It's gonna hurt. It's been a hell of a ride.
My whole thing with like Achilles injuries. I feel like we're so advanced in medicine now. This isn't when somebody tears their Achilles, it's not like when they tore it 10, 15 years ago, where that was like damn near career ending. But like we've seen like, for example, somebody like Kevin Durant tear his Achilles and come back and be great for years. And like I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins is going to have that same kind of output. Two different sports. But I wouldn't be surprised if I saw like Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins come back and be some form of what they once were.
Oh yeah, I know, but like thinking, you're also got to think future, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you can't just think about next season. You got to think about 3 seasons from now. Where do we want to be?
When Jefferson's in his 5th year of his new deal, like, where are we at?
Where are we at? Okay, why do we still have Kirk Cousins? That's what I would be thinking. Mm-hmm. Be like, we need to let that ship go.
Right.
So I think you guys are going to sign him, but I think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Or he goes to the Falcons.
I was going to say the Falcons. I have 2 teams that he could possibly go to that could miss out on a quarterback in the draft and could swoop up in the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes. I think the Falcons are a good option because I also think Russell Wilson could be an option for the Falcons that has been rumored once he does get cut.
I guess he's rumored for us too, somehow.
So it's going to be very interesting. And then I also have the Raiders because if the Raiders don't miss out on somebody, you add Kirk Cousins depending on what they want.
Kirk Cousins is going to have one bad game in Las Vegas and get fucking killed.
So it's going to be... And then the dream scenario for Kirk Cousins, in my opinion, is, other than back with Minnesota, is Steelers. You put him on the Steelers, they're a threat.
The Steelers are a quarterback away, man. That's all it is. Like, you're just a quarterback away.
And then, but they're in the... It's weird. Because I feel like a lot of shit's going to start picking up within the next week or so.
I hope so. We were supposed to announce what we were doing today, and we didn't. So...
I didn't even know you guys were supposed
we had
to
a press conference for all our new coaches and everything. They came in. I guess we have a DC. Didn't know that. Didn't know we signed a DC. We have one now.
So that was Kirk Cousins. Chris Jones.
See, that's like another one. Like, I think he's just going to end up back on the Chiefs. Like, I can't see him going anywhere else. I think they're going to find a way to end up signing him. Why would you get rid of him? Whether it's for a 1 year or not.
Unless somebody throws him and just a crazy fucking bag.
It would have to be like insane. Like, it would have to be like a Patriots type bag where like you give him like 4 years, like $60 million, like, and he's already kind of up there in age. Yeah. Like, I think he'll just end up on the Chiefs again.
I also think he'll end up on the Chiefs depending on, like I said, unless one of these teams just
unless someone comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah. And the only team I could think of with the cap is y'all.
Yeah.
But next name, Danielle Hunter.
Us.
You think so?
I think so.
You guys are the favorite.
I think it's either us or the Jags. That's what they said. I think the Jags need him more, probably, because I think the Jags in the AFC need a better pass rush.
They need somebody with...
Javon Walker, is that his name? The guy they drafted, the number 1 pick?
No, that's Trayvon Walker.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
He is not... He can't be the only one rushing the quarterback. You need another guy.
Him and Josh Allen would be fire.
Josh Allen's still there.
It would be fire.
Okay, never mind then. I think we're going to get him. I forgot they had him.
They also just need somebody else on that defense because that defense is not. It's the thing holding them back.
Yeah.
With the money that I've seen him
depends on what he wants.
Demanding, it's looking in the because you gotta think he was.
And we would. If I had to guess, we're probably signing him for a year.
Yeah.
It'd be a 1 year deal.
He is also the. He was like I don't want to say tied, but he's in the realm of like T.J. Watt for sacks.
Yeah.
So and the most like highest in the league for tackle for loss.
It would just be like I think it's just like a slam dunk signing. Like we lost. We don't have Ngakwe anymore because we only signed him to a year, so we don't need him. You have Montez Sweat, who's becoming like one of the top pass rushers in the league next year when he's gonna have a full season with us. He just got his bag. He's cool. Interior can need some help. We maybe draft an interior lineman, whatever. But if you have another guy like Danielle Hunter on the other side, holy fuck. Then we have 2 really good coverage linebackers, and our secondary is pretty fucking good. So I think our defense will be really, really good next season if you can get a second pass rusher. So if I would sign him to like a 1 year, maybe like 16 mil, 17 mil, and then kind of like some signing bonuses, guaranteed type shit. So I think that would be a slam dunk free agency signing.
Because you guys definitely have more cap than Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Just looking at another team that has a lot of cap that it could make sense for is well, because you do have T. Higgins on the tag, so you do have more money. So I would say the Bengals.
That'd be good. They need that. The Bengals defense is always sus.
Because a lot of these teams like that have a lot of cap aren't in contention, and then it's just like the Bengals and then
it's
the Texans
every
right
team.
Here.
So every team has that one guy. It's basically that one guy on defense. the defensive line, but can you have a second guy? That's the thing.
The second guy makes you.
If you can have a second guy, it opens up a whole new world. Like a Hutchinson, and then he needs a second guy. Hendrickson, second guy. Sweat, second guy. Crosby, whatever. Because then now he's not getting doubled every play. Now that other guy is gonna feast on the other side. Like that's why the Chargers had Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and one of them's gonna get him.
Yeah.
Like whoever it is, but yeah, I think him with us makes a lot of sense.
I like him with the Bengals. If the Bengals are gonna make a move, it would be to bring him in, even if it's for like 1-2 years. Mm-hmm. Next name, Mike Evans. Kind of only 2 teams here.
Yeah, I think it's either Texans or the Bucks. I think he's gonna. It just depends on what they're gonna do with Baker. If you want to sign back Baker, then Evans is there. If they don't sign Baker, he's probably leaving.
Okay, so hear me out in this scenario. I think there's a definite world where Baker's not with Tampa next year.
Which is crazy.
They just lost their OC to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Like, the team is aging. I understand it's like Baker had his best year.
Well,
what if there's a better situation elsewhere for Baker?
Fucking Pittsburgh. Oh my god, he'd beat show shit in Pittsburgh. He would Baker's one of those players who would show out for one season and then just be shit the next year.
But losing your OC, we can see have that. We just saw it with Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw it with the Eagles. So maybe Baker and his camp are looking at it okay, just lost the OC. We made a little run. Mike Evans is also a free agent.
It's really just Raiders, Steelers, Falcons. Those are the 3. Even if he went to the Falcons, I don't even think it would be that bad. He'd look sick in a Falcons uniform. But yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna end up. I think they're both gonna end up re-signing back, and they'll probably try to run it back for a season. Why wouldn't you?
You're gonna probably be top 20.
You're gonna be top. Yeah, I get it. You're losing your OC. It sucks, but fuck, we might as well. Why would I go to fucking? So first of all, if you go to the Falcons, you're in division.
Yeah,
we're not going in division.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
So
you're either thinking Steelers or Raiders.
I try to go into it with more of an open mind because.
My thing is for free agents, I always just assume they're gonna sign back because I can't see superstars getting moved and everything. That just doesn't happen in the NFL.
It's not the NBA.
So it's just if you can sign back, you're gonna sign back.
It's just looking at it. I was looking at it just from stuff I saw on Twitter and everything else, talking about the situation of they just lost their OC. Maybe he might be thinking of a better situation that might be out there. Mm-hmm. But I think the Bucks are in the prime spots where you do have some people we need to sign on the defensive end.
Devin White is your number 1.
So, if you just bring them all back, and you might be able to get, Mike Evans back on a pretty solid enough deal because, he's been there forever. And the only team that's prying Mike Evans away from you is Houston, and I think that's just all smoke. I think he's just going to sign back, in my opinion.
I don't know. Him and Stroud can do great things.
No, I know, but him and Baker they were a drive away from the championship game.
This man's really played with Jameis, Baker, Tom Brady, and could be Stroud.
Manziel too.
Yeah, in college.
So looking at it as from this point of view, I'm looking at it as in a world where they kind of run it back because the only thing that's keeping them from just winning the division again is a crazy Kirk Cousins to the Falcons kind of deal, and the Falcons are a lot better. Because even if
the Panthers fucking suck, the Saints fucking suck.
The Saints are probably in their world where they are cutting a lot of their guys this offseason, and then looking at the Falcons, they have a talent over there, but they don't have a quarterback. And it's unless they add Kirk Cousins or even if they add Justin Fields, who says the Justin Fields experiment will work over there enough to win the division?
Zach Wilson.
I don't know.
Mac Jones.
I think they're in a prime spot to just bring him back and then just run it back because you got to think that you could have a home game in Tampa again. Yep. So and you just beat the Eagles.
Personally, I would run it back.
I would also run it back because as close as you were to the championship game, you have to run it back. Trying to think of the next name, Derrick Henry.
The fucking Bengals. Go to the Bengals. It makes the most sense. Or the Ravens.
I wouldn't be too mad if he was in the Vikings uni, but that's just me.
I think he needs to stay in the AFC. And he can just move on over, go to the Bengals. Already a good team. They're gonna have the cap space because they're tagging T. Higgins. You got one more year. With him, until you got to pay him. Jamar Chase is still there. If you have someone like Derrick Henry that's going to open up that fucking offense, oh my God. The Bengals offense would be historic almost. The way that they'd be able to do kind of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then your O-line just has to be serviceable. Yeah. Like, you have a guy in Derrick Henry who, if there ain't a hole there, he's going to fucking make one. Like, Joe Mixon ain't running between the tackles like that. He's more of an outside guy. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry, you're just going straight up the gut, and he's getting you in the fucking end zone. So I think that takes away most of their red zone problems as well. So, I don't know. I think him makes the most sense.
I think the Bengals make sense. I really like the Ravens. I think the Ravens is just the edit.
Yeah, he would look sick and
look crazy.
It would but then for some reason they just Chiefs in the AFC. They have Derrick Henry's got 2 touches at halftime. You're like, huh? Why would we do that?
Houston. I mean, Houston could get.
Houston. They're in the market for a running back. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Vikings. You guys are in the market. Like, there's a lot of teams. I mean, we're kind of in the market, but not really.
I got a name that we're gonna go get. We go get.
You get Joe Mixon?
Nah. But I think
the Bengals makes the most sense. Derrick Henry's at a point of his career where he doesn't want to go to a rebuilder. Mm-hmm. He wants to go to a contender. Yeah. Joe Burrow, top 5 quarterback in the league when he's healthy.
Same with Chase. You got T. Higgins. I mean, yeah, if you want to go to the Ravens, you're going to get more of the workload. Mm-hmm. That's basically where it is. But if you want to kind of get the workload and win more games, go to the fucking Bengals. And then I'm going to agree with you on the Bengals. I think Houston could be sneaky, though.
Houston's a sneaky one.
If Houston were able to pull that off, then you're like, damn. Like, they're going to be...
They got it all.
And he would have a crazy workload. Yeah. But I think they're going to be conservative with some of the cap they do have. And the next name, Saquon Barkley. I know he's in the discussion, up and down.
I don't even know, actually. Because him... I just don't want him to go. I don't care. Just don't go back to the Giants. Yeah. Go anywhere that's not the Giants. Him to Houston makes a lot of fucking sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'd say Houston. Houston for him.
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Saquon Barkley's not fucking signing with you guys.
I just think it's a perfect matchup. If you go the route where you don't have Kirk Cousins, you're going to have money. I don't know how much he commands.
Yeah, probably a good highest paid running back in the league. Money.
No, I think people look at CMC just peg below that.
I know, but I know. You have to think of his mindset.
No, I know.
I want to be the highest paid running
I would
back.
just look at it and
he is the Giants.
Yeah, I would just look at it in the terms of if I'm GM of the Vikings, and I'm just like, okay, we just traded up. We got Jane Daniels. Right, we're looking at that.
This is in a perfect world.
In a perfect world, I'm sitting here. I'm like, all right, bet Jane Daniels, stout quarterback of the future. Justin Jefferson.
Wow. How did he fall to 11?
I just gave Justin Jefferson my checkbook.
Oh my god.
He's gave it back with hell and zeros on it.
Kirk Cousins comes back on a veteran minimum. It's like, what the fuck?
No, so we would draft Jane Daniels, go get Jefferson. You're like, okay, so my offense could be Jane Daniels, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Saquon. I wouldn't have to touch my offense for the rest of everybody's contract.
So let's think. Let's think everything that's going to go wrong with this.
All right.
Saquon, probably not going to go to Minnesota.
Right.
Jefferson, still doesn't even know if he wants to sign back with you guys. Jaden Daniels, probably not falling to 11.
No, we trade up.
Trade up. Okay. Trade up, type shit. Y'all probably won't trade up. And
when everything goes wrong, it's JJ McCarthy and Joe Mixon.
And somehow you guys signed back Kirk Cousins on a 5-year, multi-million-dollar deal.
Here's the thing. I would be hurt and be like, damn. We really not ever gonna win a Super Bowl. But then I'm like, me and Kirk
we go way back.
Like this.
Did you see the TikTok I sent you of Justin Fields?
What was it?
It was it's a video of him with his shirt off singing "Heartbreak Anniversary," and then it cuts into all the edits and shit. And I was watching it on my way home. I was like, "Damn, this is my guy." For 3 years, this was my guy. But I love Justin Fields as a person. Yeah, person, super cool.
Same with Kirk Cousins.
Player, nah, we've overgrown you.
And then we're kind of staying in the running back realm because
so many running backs.
I have Tony Pollard in mind going to the Bears.
I think he's going to go back to the Cowboys. I think they'll give him another year. I think they might tag him again.
Okay. And then one of the names that I had over Pollard to go to y'all, just because I don't know his value. You can probably get him for cheaper than Pollard.
Mixon.
Eckler.
Oh God.
Just because I took it like I sat down last night.
Eckler as a Bear.
I sat down last night. I'm looking at the Bears. I'm like, Caleb Williams just checking down to Eckler.
Yeah,
first down
every time.
Like that just sounded
left
so
tackle
nice.
on the ground.
Check down.
Right to Eckler for 50 yards and a screen.
Like the slowest 50 yards.
Yeah. Oh, he's so slow.
But like him being,
I mean, like having him and like Deontay Foreman and like Herbert, we'd have a crazy running back room.
Yeah.
Like you could literally plug in any of those guys and they'll go do the job.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
He just gives you a more dynamic option there for sure.
I think I hope we record during the draft. I really want to do that. It's one thing I want to do. We record during at least the first round, and then we could like clickbait the fuck out of something on YouTube or something. Like Caleb Williams to the Texans. Oh, no way! Like, but I think that'd be super cool for us to see like reactions and shit. So people who want to trade up and trade down and everything. I think that'd be electric.
Austin Eckler could be a very good option for a lot of teams that do have a lot of cap space, like him in Arizona. Just adding a piece
James
of that
Conner.
offense, like him and James Conner. Just giving. I don't think he's a number one back, like getting all the workload kind of back anymore.
He just can't. Like it's just running the ball is so hard for him.
Receiving game is
him and Tony Pollard are like the same. They're like the exact same.
I don't know. I'm just looking at it in that terms. I'm just like, oh, if you could add him, he can be like a nice little piece to anybody's offense. I'm just like, okay, I can see what they're doing here. And then we're getting into some sleeper names.
Oh, jeez.
Getting into one sleeper name because he's on the market. Don't know what his value is. Ryan Tannehill. We're seeing. Where's he going? Who's he backing up?
XFL. Fucking like.
So you're telling me Ryan Tannehill can't take the Falcons to the second in the division?
No.
You don't think Ryan Tannehill's taking second in the division?
No. Ryan Tannehill is so fucking bad.
But like second in the division? You're telling me the Falcons can't be better than
third?
What?
Yeah. Saints probably do better than them.
So I know you're a big Desmond Ridder guy.
Ryan Tannehill is so fucking bad. Ryan Tannehill might not get signed this season. And if he does, he backing up someone. He'd be like a backup to Stroud. Or something like a younger guy.
Ooh.
Like he's going to go back up like... Man, he might just stay in Tennessee. They might just bring him back for like a year.
He might think he can win the job back.
Yeah, like he might just stay and like back up Will Levis. Like, I don't even know. Like, motherfucker need to go to like New York or something. Like, revitalize his career. Ryan Tannehill.
Next.
Jesus.
Calvin Ridley.
I think he's gonna stay with the Jags.
Actually,
they have to give the second round pick.
I don't think they're gonna give that second round pick.
Why not?
I just don't think they're gonna do it.
You're not gonna draft anybody in the second round that's gonna be like Calvin Ridley, so why not? Just get rid of it.
I just don't know if they want to pay him after the year he kind of had, where he was
didn't have a bad year.
He was super up and down.
I'd keep him. Who the fuck else do you have? He's your number one. You have Christian Kirk, and that's it.
Christian Kirk derailed their season.
His fucking balls exploded.
Derailed their season.
Yeah, we didn't know if he's coming back.
He coming back.
His balls exploded.
He's gonna come back.
I know.
He come back.
You have Evan Ingram, and like that's it. You kind of need him. Why wouldn't you re-sign him? Right? Unless you're trying to make a play on like one of the bigger guys, like Mike Evans or T Higgins. Like, till T Higgins says I don't want to play on a tag and just.
I also just like look at some of the storylines that are building for some of these players. And I saw the second round thing.
Just
and
give it to him. I just give it to him.
I was like,
they need it.
I was like, I can see the Jags doing something
some
stupid.
bitch shit.
We want the second rounder. We want that draft capital. And it also depends on how much you're having to pay Calvin Ridley. I don't know.
I don't think it'll be that much.
Looking at the Jags, they're middle of the pack.
I think it'll be just like a normal normal wide receiver, like a 3-year, like $40-something million deal, which isn't like insane for him.
And then trying to think of one more name we could put up. A sleeper name that nobody's really talking about, who's probably leaving his team actually, is Tyler Boyd.
He's gone.
I also looked at him with the Bears, but I was like, I like Curtis Samuel a little bit more, being here too. So Tyler Boyd, he can fit on dead ass any team.
It's really anywhere. Wherever he wants to go, he's gonna help.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't even pinpoint an exact team that he should go to. Anywhere. Same with like Gabe Davis. You plug him in anywhere, he's gonna help you. So
I was trying to like really cook with these three teams, especially Arizona.
Yeah.
I was really trying to cook off of some shit I saw on like TikTok.
Is Marquise Brown a free agent?
Yeah. they're gonna bring him back.
They probably should.
But I was thinking of in the realm, we're getting wicked, right? We're getting
We're
crazy.
getting crazy.
So I was looking at it. Damn, Buffalo over there. Cap hell. Heard people calling for Stephon Diggs' name. I'm like, damn, you got 2 first-rounders too?
I mean, I did some... my Bills franchise, I got rid of him.
Oh, I was like, damn, you're Cardinals. You're thinking about offense you rolling out.
If I was Stephon Diggs and I got traded to the fucking Cardinals, I'd probably just retire on the spot. I'd be like, holy shit, this sucks.
I think you're looking at...
weather, though,
I think you're looking at nice weather.
State tax probably better.
And then you're like, damn, Kyler Murray ain't too bad. And you're like, damn, Marvin Harrison might 1 and 2 caught that punch in the receiver room.
Marquise Brown just there. Like, he might be open.
Like Marquise Brown, you'll
up and coming tight end.
Listen,
terrible O line.
Listen, that'd be a tough 8-win team.
Oh yeah,
that's a wicked 8-win team.
I don't know in that division. I don't know. They might bottom feed in that division with 8 wins.
So you're looking at
Seahawks, Rams, and 49ers.
That is stout.
But you tied with the Seahawks.
That's stout.
Like 8-9 or like 8 and 9.
It would be 8-9, 8-9, 9 and 8 Rams, and then 12 and
12 and fucking whatever.
49ers. But I was trying to cook with like a possible like Stephon Diggs trade for Buffalo to kind of like
I think his
shake
leash,
up that roster.
His leash is getting short. In Buffalo.
He
played so bad this past couple. Like, it's kind of recency bias. Like,
yeah.
Those last couple playoff games that he had were just so fucking bad.
But it wasn't. It was the entire back half of the year.
Yeah.
It was the whole back half of the year
he didn't catch a touchdown for like a fat minute.
So, that whole back half of the year, they kind of also changed OCs, and transitioned to running the ball more.
Which helped.
Which is like how every football team should think.
James Cook kind of hooped a little bit.
Yes, so like
he's their future back.
Looking at that, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. But it's just like I feel like Stephon Diggs took so much of a back seat to where like it wasn't even.
Well, so did Gabe Davis.
Like Gabe
Davis would have games where he had fucking 0 catches, 0 yards, like, and it was every away game. Like his stats at home and away were so much different.
I was just trying to cook up a trade to maybe they shake up that roster and like maybe bring in a pick or 2 for Stephon Diggs to kind of like.
I don't know, I did some crazy shit where I traded him to the Colts and I got Michael Pittman, and I did some shit and then I had Jameson Williams as my secondary or my second guy. It was pretty wicked. My offense was kind of crazy.
Right, but you want to wrap it up there?
Sure.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the Barrel Talk podcast. Hope to see you tune in to future episodes.
Yes, sir.